Live Coding Happy Hour is back. Welcome back, everybody. It is Washington, D.C. season. I think we have a little banner for that. Do we have that uploaded?
Oh.
Nope, it's not up there, so it's not going up. All right, welcome to Washington, D.C. season. It's Live Coding Happy Hour. If this is your first time tuning in to Live Coding Happy Hour, it's a near and dear show to the ServiceNow Developer Program YouTube channel. It's a show where we normally will drink and be merry. It's Friday afternoon or evening for some of us. And we are basically going to usually try to build something using a new ServiceNow feature, but show all the hardship while doing real development. So the debugging steps, the banging our head against the wall, us looking up documentation and APIs. It's usually a true like, hey, we were developers too, and we're going to try our best to build whatever is on this, whatever we're tasked with this hour. But that's future episodes. This episode is our special MVP edition. So besides Lauren and myself, you'll see we have 4 people on our screen right now who are part of our new 2024 MVP community. They're part of our new cohort. So congratulations, a little golf clap for all of you. But waiting in the wings is like 70 other people that I'm constantly keeping track of in the background. Trying to figure out where they are and what how we're going to handle this. But it's a special episode, and what we want to do on this special episode is share insights about just what it means to be MVP, their career, their future, what they plan to do, what got them here, that kind of stuff. But first, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves as Lauren and myself as hosts of the show usually. Hi, again, I'm Earl Duque. I am a developer advocate here at ServiceNow, but before that, I was with customers doing development, usually in higher ed. And what we usually do after introductions is we introduce our drinks, but since there's so many of us, I'll introduce my drink now. My drink today it looks like a Doritos, but it's the Cantoritos, if you haven't heard of it. It's the hard soda version of Doritos, which I found at the Warriors versus Lakers basketball game, that really crazy double overtime game. And I had my first one there and I loved it, so I bought more. So that's what I'm drinking today. Lauren?
Hey, thank you. Hey, everyone. My name is Lauren McManaman. I am also one of the, I almost said one of the MVPs. I'm not. I am a developer advocate alongside Earl and Pranav and Chuck as well. I previously have worked both for customer and then also our SC organization here at ServiceNow. I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm taking it easy because tomorrow I'm doing a combined birthday, lunch, and roller skating party. So I'm going with just a ginger ale to keep things nice and simple today.
Awesome. So MVP program, what is that? Really quick, I want to recap it. I slotted myself like a 7-minute intro for all this to fit. So we're on track. But the MVP program is basically our way as the community team at ServiceNow to recognize the people that have been putting in the hard work in the past year. So these people that we have deemed MVPs in our community, they're the ones who are bringing you content. They're the ones who are and bringing you enablement. They're the ones who are spreading news about new product features, things to watch out for, best practices. And they're all doing that honestly on their own time and out of their own accord and from the goodness of their own hearts. two of us in the developer advocate group, Pranav and myself, we were developer MVPs before we became ServiceNow employees, and so it was very much a near and dear thing to our hearts to see all the MVPs grow over the years, and then the program itself grow over the time. It's been really fun for me. A lot of my career really shot through the roof when I became a developer MVP. The first year there was a developer MVP, which is I don't remember, 2019. I can't remember when the first year was.
Yeah.
But if that's something that's interesting to you, just look up the MVP program on the community, and you'll see all the details about that, including all of our cohort for 2024. Philip in the chat is saying it was in 2020 because there was a few of us that were OG people that have in that original group. But the community MVPs were here for a lot longer before that.
Yes.
But then this year is our first year. We've combined all of our MVP programs into a single MVP program. Whew, I said a lot of words. Lauren, did you have anything to add to that part of it? We'll get into the interview part. Okay.
The only thing I think I might add to it is that MVPs also are really active within like community groups. And so if you're looking to like get connected with all these people, also check out your local developer meetup chapters. A lot of these people are involved with them. Some of them even lead them. So again, soft plug to the meetup chapters as well to help you get plugged in with this community as well. So with that being said, I'll kick things back off to you, Earl.
Thanks. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to bring each MVP up one at a time to talk about, hey, introduce yourself, and I have a question for you, and I want you to expel your wisdom out to the internet, out into the people watching this. And there's a lot of people watching right now, so that's really fun for us. All right, let's get started. So Anders, I'm going to start with you since you're at the top of my list again. Anders, introduce yourself, and then I'll ask you a question.
Oh, thanks, Earl. My name is Anders. I'm from Norway. I work in KPMG. So I think I've been an MVP for a couple of years now, and very honored to be invited back in, and just it's the best place to be when it comes to the ServiceNow community.
Awesome. And my question for you, Anders, how do you stay motivated and inspired as a developer in the ServiceNow ecosystem?
Yeah, so what inspires me when it comes to development in ServiceNow is when I set myself goals, which I find difficult to the level of being impossible. Because I know that whether or not I succeed in achieving my goal doesn't really matter. But the things that I learn along the way is all the value I need. I learn new things every time, and that is what inspires me. So I have this one example, which is when I wanted to learn about search engines. This was before AI search, and I was thinking I needed to learn more about the technology itself. So I made my own search engine. It was a cool project, but the biggest value was that I had to learn about data structures, compression, index tables, binary search trees, all of that stuff. And the cool thing is that ServiceNow allows for me to think this way and to actually act upon it. And that is super inspiring for me as a developer.
Nice. Thanks, Anders. See, I'm just excited because each one of these people that we consider MVPs, we're globally diverse. We are diverse in so many different ways, and we have different experiences, and we all came from different backgrounds, and we will have all these different experiences. And Anders always is the doing weird stuff with AI stuff, and I'm always excited to hear all the kind of answers that he has for that. Thanks, Anders.
Thanks, Earl.
Philip, do you want to introduce yourself?
Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Phil Swan. I am a managing consultant at Rangoon. I've been developer MVP since 2021, so that's why I'm betting on 2020. I'll be in the first year of the developer MVP. 2021's for me, back for 2024, and my drink is Pinot Grigio tonight. It's a 2022 from Chile.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. My question for you is, how do you usually balance your time between stuff like contributing to the community and all of your other responsibilities as a person in the ServiceNow space?
Yeah, so I like this question because there's no right or wrong. And actually, when I look back over the past few years, since 2020, 2021, looking ahead as well into 24, The way I've contributed has changed, a bit like live coding happy hour. It has evolved, and we've all come out of that kind of COVID era with different perspectives. Things have changed for me quite a bit, both personally and professionally. And with the MVP status, my position in the community, the way others see me and the way I see myself has also changed. So when I first started out, I did feel a sense of imposter syndrome. I was driven by this innate sense of community, and I would throw myself at everything. Although I may not have recognized it at the time, I may have been in danger of burning out. So nowadays, I am a bit more selective, more deliberate with my time. And going into 2024, I plan to bring a bit more structure, and I hope to show how I have matured with my content and my contributions I'm able to make to the ServiceNow community. So if I can, I would offer some advice to everyone. Is to remember this is not a competition. Everyone can find their own place, their own niche. Don't compare yourselves to others. Just be yourself, do your thing, and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's great. Honestly, the screen layout's going to keep changing because I'm trying to figure out all the millions of buttons to press. Are you going to bring back your live streams this year?
Well, that's what we're looking at. I'm just waiting for a little bit more tech to land. So yes, but yeah, a bit more structure, I would say.
All right, cool. Thank you again. Next up, we will ask Willem to introduce himself.
Yeah, sure. I'm Willem Zeiler from the Netherlands. I'm a ServiceNow architect at Platformation, and I'm just drinking tap water.
Nice. Okay, that's okay. That's completely fine. Live coding happy hour doesn't have to actually be alcoholic drinks. It could be whatever helps you get through the day or relax or stay hydrated, especially. Okay, so for you, I would love to ask, how do you integrate creativity into your development work?
Yes, so creativity for me has always been important. At one point, I even almost went to art school. So what I love about my job as a ServiceNow architect is that I'm still able to bring that creativity, whether it's designing a port and building a portal page, drawing up architecture diagrams, or thinking of creative ways to help the customer get the most out of the platform. So that really, to me, shows that creativity is not just drawing, painting, but it's what we can bring to our customers, to our colleagues every day.
I multi-clicked. Thanks. That's great. We know that creativity is something that we always want to exercise outside of whatever we do so that it enhances everything that we do. So thank you for sharing about that. Okay, next on my list is Jesselyn. So Jesselyn, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Jesselyn. I'm a senior experience engineer. Second time being an MVP, so happy to be here. And I'm drinking matcha latte.
Ooh, nice. A matcha latte. Did you make it yourself?
I did. Just milk, powder, and a little whisk.
Fancy. Okay. Jesselyn, what is one area of technology or development you're excited to explore further?
Yeah, like this is kind of a recent answer since I just saw it on the most recent breakpoint, but for me, it's the ServiceNow SDK. I just think it's really cool seeing more pro code tools come to the platform, especially starting out. It felt like everything was kind of constrained just to the instance, but now we have the Visual Studio Code extension, we have custom components, and now seeing the SDK come out, I think it'll be fun to play around with.
Nice. Yeah, that's something we did talk about during Tech Now, so thank you for re-advertising more of the stuff that's coming up. Thanks, Jesselyn. All right, I think I have next is Gunnar, or Ashutosh is coming up next. Ashutosh, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, hi all. I'm Ashutosh. I'm working as a platform owner and architect with one of the financial institutes in Netherlands. I'm also an MVP for multiple times. And today I am having a Nordic green tea for just having a nice sleep.
Okay, nice. So how do you approach continuous improvement and learning in your career?
So for me, learning is a vital part of the career. I like to learn from peers because every person thinks in a different way, right? So for me, learning plus improvement is directly proportional to each other, and I'm not afraid of getting a positive feedback or a negative feedback from my peers as well, because like I said, everyone thinks in a different way, so everyone can be putting their creativity or coding in a different way within the platform. So what I do usually is I read a lot. I discuss many things with my colleagues, and in that way, I learn how they think or approach the problem. And when it comes to improvement, if I get a feedback that I did this thing, so some of the things in the wrong manner, and if I can improve it in a positive way, I keep doing that. I keep that in mind. I have my own notes, and of course, I have good friends. For example, again, my co-host Dhruv. So we keep discussing on the solutions multiple times, and that's the way I learn and I grow within my career.
What's your favorite way of taking notes?
I'm old school, maybe, but I have behind the screen, I have a big board where the important things I just put it on the stickies, put it there, and when I get a time, I just put it into my notepad.
Old school is okay if you look. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, Lauren, go ahead and look behind you, Lauren. Old school is perfectly fine. Thanks, Ashutosh. Let's jump over to Astrid. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure can. Hi, everyone. So my name's Astrid. I am pronouns are she and they, and I am I'm a MVP for 2024. I was an MVP last year as well. However, I have just recently been hired by ServiceNow, so I'm on this awkward edge where I technically have to step away. But I couldn't miss out on this opportunity. As for what I'm drinking, it is a hazy XPA from Colossal Brewing because I'm living the 5 o'clock somewhere vibe. So for me, the question.
Yeah, sure. How do you see your role evolving within the community in the future?
Awesome. Well, I'd like to paint a quick picture. So 10 years ago, I was fresh out of secondary school, struggling at university or college, and feeling rudderless. When asked what I wanted to be when I grew up or where I saw myself in 5 to 10 years, I didn't have an honest answer. It felt a little bleak, to be honest, and I had no real vision or hope for my career or future. I'm not the only person to have had this experience or to be having it now. It's becoming increasingly common for folks to find themselves in that same spot I was. A lot of things are uncertain at the moment. My hope and vision for how my role will evolve in the community is to be someone who can embody some of that certainty, who can help offer a North Star or a magnetic north to set some compasses against. Aim to be a passionate advocate for anyone new to our ecosystem, whether they be a member of the Next Gen program, a fresh-faced 21-year-old, or somebody in their 50s looking for a change. I've just got an unerring passion and dedication to helping people and to this platform, and I want to make sure they can bring their fullest self to every part of their life, including their career. There is so much potential in this community, and I know that it's destined to grow and stretch at massive rates, and I want to be part of making the ServiceNow community the place to be.
Nice. Astrid, thank you. The main thing I want to say to that is that answer embodies a lot of what, not just what the community does, but also the developer advocates are always hoping to be able to do for you all and for the community at large. So thank you for that answer. Well, we're all it's a journey, right? We all take steps toward that as one step at a time. Thank you again. Next up, I am going down my list. Dhruv, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Trove. I'm currently based out of Netherlands, working for NN Group as their ServiceNow SecOps lead. And currently, I'm drinking green tea. I don't know what's wrong with Dutch people. Just like Ashu, I'm drinking in my ServiceNow mug. So yeah, that's me.
Drew, do you not drink your normal drink on shows anymore? Because you've been on our live.
No. Actually, I feel like it's pretty cold here, and I don't want my throat to go out because we have some recordings lined up for our podcast. So I don't
Okay.
know, I don't know,
Okay.
copying in the podcast and do editing by myself. So
if people aren't aware, Drew is a veteran of our show, Live Coding Happy Hour, and has been a repeated guest in the past, and was always drinking Coca-Cola, no matter what. It was always a can of Coke. That was always what he was drinking. But the last 3 live streams you've been with us, you weren't drinking that, so I'm like, I had to ask. I mean, but that's also like why we do these shows for everybody that's watching, is that it's familiarity too, so you get used to seeing our faces, the MVP's faces, and you hopefully can trust us as we try to dive into things. So that's why seeing repeated faces is also just like we're building good friendships and stuff like that on the show. But Drew, I have a question for you.
okay.
We've been talking a lot about how do you prepare for things, or what do you want to do in the future, but there are some things that are harder. How do you handle things like setbacks or failures when you're working on different projects?
Whew, that's a tough one. Okay. These days I've been following Suits a lot. So can I use their dialogues? Because I'm a big fan of Harvey Specter now. So the setbacks are like those intense moments. In Suits, you have those courtrooms, and at a moment, Harvey Specter and Mike Ross have to think their feet to turn that case around. So I personally feel I thrive under pressure and view setbacks as an opportunity to showcase my skills and the power of community, because it has happened with me a lot that whenever I was in a problem and community has the solution for it. And it's a characteristic thing that Harvey Specter says: winners don't make excuses when the other side plays game. So take them as an opportunity and figure out, and those are the learning curves. And if you go through that, I feel like that's the exponential learning that I always strive for.
Nice. Yeah, it's sometimes a hard thing to just even think about and reflect on, but I'm glad most of us have failures and setbacks, and it's good to be reflective on those kind of things. So thank you, Drew, for answering that question. Next, I want Atul to introduce yourself. Atul, I met last year in person in the hackathon, and ended up watching their hackathon video was them throwing one of my best friends around as their like entry video, and they ended up doing really well. Actually, they were like a finalist. So
Thank you.
maybe I think that video might be around somewhere. We should post that in the description at one point. But Atul, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure, definitely. Hi, everyone. My name is Atul Grover, and I'm working as a senior business process consultant with DXC Technology and based out in UK at point of time. And I just had my dinner, and being an Indian, that I had aloo ke paratha, and after that I'm having my mango faluda to just make my Friday a little more special. And we'll go ahead with the question now.
Sure. That sounds delicious, by the way. But so the question I have for you, Atul, what inspired you to become involved in this community?
Okay, so for me, I can say that I have my own YouTube channel that is Learn and Grow Together. And I guess that is the prime reason or the motto that push me to part of this community. And what I think that community is like a sea. And every day, if you deep in this community, you will learn more and more and more and more in that particular part. During my trainings, generally everybody asks how we can do a use case. So I recommend that community is the one place where in every minute you're getting a new use case. It can be scripting, it can be process, it can be architect, it can be database, it can be backups, it can be scheduling, it can be upgrades. So you just think that what you need, what type of requirements you need, you can go in the community, search it, and you will find a lot of use cases in that particular part. And one thing is that I'm getting a knowledge from there because I'm a business process consultant, but I think by using the community at that level, now I'm thinking to move in the development part as well. I start answering on the little bit on the development questions as well, try to find out that what wrong in the scripting so that I can help on that particular part. Plus, I try to share my knowledge from the process perspective, from the domain perspective as well, that what's wrong and how to implement this part. Even though I don't have answer on the coding part, So I simply said, "Oh, so you don't have a, I don't have an answer." But if I have an answer on the process part, definitely I go there or and answer that part. So in short, I can say this learning and growing together and making combined and community is a place which push me to more and more involve in that part and grow with everybody together here.
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
that's how a lot of us got started with even just being in the community, right? We learn something and we go, oh, I should share this. And then
Correct.
suddenly a year down the line, 2 years down the line, you're an MVP. What? It's like, that's how simple it can be. You just got to get started. Thank you, Atul.
Right. Thanks.
Next, I am going to have, let's see, Martin. Martin, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello. Martin Ivanov here from the small country of, but beautiful country of Bulgaria. I'm a second-time MVP, currently working as a solution architect at Do IT Wise. What I'm drinking today has no label on it, and this is because this is my own brew. It is a dry hopped IPA, and it has this amazing explosion of taste, aroma, and bitterness.
Nice. What's the secret ingredient in yours?
It's a lot of hops.
Okay. Okay. A lot of hops. Okay. The question I have for you is, what tools or resources have been invaluable to you in this journey?
Well, everyone who has followed me for a while now knows that I'm keen on efficiency, right? And I'm using different tools in my daily job, like Microsoft Power Toys, for example, Environment Marker, and so on. But the game changer in my career so far is called SNU Tools. Whether I'm accessing a random record or comparing just different environments, everything is just a / command away, and this increases my efficiency big time. And I'm also advocating about it, constantly sharing tips about it. And fun fact is that this is the first question that I ask on interviews: can we install browser extensions or not? If the answer is not, then the interview is immediately over.
Nice. SN Utils, it's probably the very first thing that pops up on your Google search if you're looking for it, if you've never heard of that. Yeah, it's funny because it's such a big tool now that there's content on that tool itself, which is an additional tool made by, well, what kind of made like by a community member, but yeah, Google it. Well, you'll know what we're talking about. Thanks, Martin.
Yeah.
Let's go to Daniel. Daniel, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm a technical consultant with GlideFast Consulting, and today I have a toasted coconut.
1 second, Dan. I think we can't really hear you very well. Is that just me?
No, it's not just you. Got bumped up.
Is that better? Is that better?
A little bit better.
Weird. That must be better.
Okay, everyone just listen very closely, okay?
Is that better?
I think so. Go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Daniel, and I am a technical consultant at GlideFast Consulting. Today I am drinking toasted coconut black lager. There it is.
Nice.
And yeah.
Okay, so the question I have for you, Daniel, can you share a memorable experience or achievement within the community?
Yeah, so my most memorable experience was a few years ago. I was toying with the idea of looking for a new job, and I posted about it in the ServiceNow Discord. And then within minutes, I had Robert reach out to me, and he asked me for my resume. He sent me a Zoom link. He proceeded to tear apart my resume. And within minutes from there, we were having an impromptu conversation. He was helping me out. And then after that, it was like, okay, this is great. It just showed me I was like some random guy, and he took the time out of his day to help a complete stranger across the continent. And it really just showed me like how awesome this community is. So yeah.
That's awesome.
It's great. You were talking about Robert, but I want to emphasize the community at this point, we have a benefit of being a pretty solid community despite us being a very large company and large ecosystem at this point. But you'd be surprised how fast people are willing to help if you just put yourself out there and say, hey, I need someone to look at my resume. I'm looking for help this is my approach to this thing. What am I doing wrong, or what should I be doing differently? Reach out to people on your screen right now, people in the chat here, on any of the community sources. Well, there's so many different places you can find that community, but that's how we all get started and rise up to MVPs and stuff like that. Thank you, Daniel. Next, I have up Laszlo, which are near and dear to my heart. You are, because of Hacktoberfest. You are one not employee or MVP volunteer during last Hacktoberfest. So glad to see you're an MVP now. We were all calling it back then. So congrats again. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thanks, Earl. Yeah, my name's Laszlo. Finally MVP here in 2024 cohort. I work as a solution consultant for DXC right now.
Nice. Okay.
And I'm sorry, about my drink, I ain't got one because I'm still sick and taking meds, so just water for me.
Sure. Hopefully it's water then, and staying hydrated.
It is, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Can you share a personal habit or practice that has contributed to your success?
Yeah, sure. One thing that really held me from early on my career was actually the SNDev Slack. So if anybody watching this and not on Slack yet, you should jump on it. I used to have a habit. It started way back before COVID times, when we all had to go to the office, and I took my morning coffee and I just sit down at my desk early on. I had some time, and all I did was just opened up Slack, looked at the unreads, and being in Europe, there was so much traffic from North America, and there was so much to learn. So all I did was just look at the different threads in Slack and pick the topics that were close to my heart or just seemed interesting. And I couldn't believe it. I literally learned something new every day, or I got reminded of something I used to know before, but I forgot. So I felt that was a super easy hack to just boost my knowledge. And really, it's free. It's open for everyone, and all you got to do is just be there.
That's actually how I got started in that community too. I was invited and I jumped in and I started making the bots on the community, on that SNDev server. And from there, that's basically how I got involved in the community, was making really silly stuff on that bot. And so you can get started in the most weirdest of ways, and whether it be learning from others and doing knowledge and supporting others and stuff like that, or just being silly in the community, because that's honestly how a lot of us are just making content, is having fun, but doing it in the ServiceNow context. Thank you, Laszlo. Next, I want to have Mark introduce himself.
Hi, good evening. Mark Groethoff here, calling in from the Netherlands. I'm a freelance ServiceNow consultant. Yeah, one of the MVPs. And tonight I'm drinking, can I show it? Yeah, Hertog Jan Grand Prestige. It's 10%. That's good. But,
What? Did you custom make a shirt? I was reading the flex on the subtitle of 9 times ServiceNow MVP. Then I realized I saw another 9 times on your shirt. I was like, wait a second. Wow, what a flex. What a flex. Okay. Thanks,
I've
Mark.
got some orders waiting from some other MVPs, so need to do some work.
Awesome. Mark, can you tell us, how do you approach, I've asked this earlier too to Ashutosh, but I want to hear from you too. How do you approach continuous improvement and learning in your career?
Oh yeah. That's actually one of the side reasons of why I'm contributing to the ServiceNow ecosystem. Because by creating content and answering questions daily, I have to stay up to date. I need to dive into new subjects, or need to even learn more on subjects. Not stopping when something is undocumented, or actually documenting the undocumented myself. And also my content is almost all not in my native language. I also have to work on how do you bring a message across, doing time management between work, contributing, personal things, sports, flight lessons. So yeah, it's not only working on hard skills, also crafting soft skills. And I don't use a forced personal development plan from a company for that. I decide my own personal development plan. And yeah, this way, just getting way more out of it. And it's just way more fun. And what of course helps in continuous learning is being one of the front runners on every new release.
Nice. We don't talk about that enough, and I feel like we've talked about it internally too, about we need to make more content on just spreading the soft skills that have gotten us where we are. Because I always would tell my student developers, like, you have to be able to market your thing as much as you can build it, because the soft skills side of things is so much more important, is so much important to the entire endeavor. Thanks, Mark. And the shirt is ridiculous. Thanks, man. Carlos, can we have you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Carlos Camacho. I'm a ServiceNow developer. I started working for a client, for a ServiceNow client, and nowadays I work for a partner. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have any drink with you or anything?
Oh, sure. Let me see. Yeah, I have this Portuguese beer. Yeah, let's give it a try.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, we gotta keep the show theme on going on this show. For the question I have for you, can you share a personal habit or practice that has helped you has contributed to your success as a developer, as a community member?
Yeah, you can call it a hobby. I've been practicing martial arts since I was a child. The discipline and the commitment required to be a martial artist, it has helped me not only to become a better ServiceNow professional, but a better human being. One thing that I love about it all is that it connects people. So if you keep practicing, you have the opportunity to make friends for life.
Nice. Yeah, I think a lot of us have those personal stories about the friends we made inside this community, inside of this group. I know I have plenty of stories, but I'll save that for another show. Thanks, Carlos. I have next on my docket, Ailey. Yaylee! Hashtag Yaylee in the chat, everybody. Hashtag Yaylee. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I would love to. Yeah, my name is Ailey Anderson. I am a developer for Yonsa Labs. So we just build custom apps for clients and customers. And I am part of Team Water today in my ServiceNow branded Yeti from Knowledge 23. So that's what I'm drinking.
Yay, Hydro homies. Okay, Ailey, how has being a part of this community impacted your personal or professional growth?
I would say that being a part of this community has really taught me the power of learning and growing together. I mean, we all have different jobs, different lives, different responsibilities, and yet we're all part of this same community. And having a place to go where I can find answers to my questions and receive support and encouragement has been huge for my growth, both as a ServiceNow developer, but also just as a person in general. As Earl mentioned earlier, the ServiceNow community is very expansive and super diverse. And it's just been really cool to meet people from different backgrounds and different walks of life. I've just really been able to see that there's something to learn from everyone. And the community has been a huge part of that for me. So I would also say that like sharing things that I've learned with the community helps me professionally because it solidifies those concepts that I've learned. And like just really, I don't know, there's something about being able to teach it to others that helps you understand it better. So that's been a great way for me to learn and become more confident in myself and just to meet people and get, you know, like I don't know. I just love it. I'm grateful for this community. I think it's an awesome place to be.
100%. I don't remember anything until I start talking about it out externally. So it's 100% true. Thanks, Ailey. Yaylee. We're gonna jump the queue a little bit, and I'm gonna bring Adam because I know Adam's doing things a little bit remotely, so I want to make sure he gets there before if there's any connection problems or anything. But Adam, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello. I'm Adam Chelly. I'm a ServiceNow architect with GlideFast Consulting until today. Starting a new chapter in a week, and we'll share those details in a week from Monday on March 4th. And I'm drinking a Mediate IPA from a local brewery where I am currently.
Very nice. You took the task really to heart to go to a brewery to do live coding happy hour. Nice.
I've been here for at least an hour.
I know, I'm joking. I have a question for you. What's your favorite open source project and why?
It's Slacker, and I don't think any more needs to be said on the subject.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Let's go ahead and kick him from the call. So I'm just kidding. Adam, did you want to expand a little bit more on that?
Yeah, so Slacker is one of the bots that you mentioned earlier that we have in our sndevs.com Slack community. And it's just a really great launchpad for people to start learning how to use GitHub with ServiceNow, how to build integrations, really low barrier to entry, submitting a new text parser, learn some regular expressions, and it's just a lot of fun building that and seeing how many people we have jumping in and contributing, and just as you said, all of the stupid stuff that we do with it, like the Zalgo text translator and the ISS lookup, XKCD. I use that one all the time. I need to open an issue for getting the link back in there without it unfurling the link.
And if you are interested in any of these open source projects that we, the community, and a lot of our MVPs have made together, Adam, what would be the easiest way to get to them? devlink.sn/Hacktoberfest is probably the easiest one to find.
Yep, that one. Or the other one you can do is if you find the ServiceNow dev program on GitHub, all of the repos are there.
Yep.
Bookmark it, fork it, start contributing.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam. Thank you for joining us remotely too. Or super remotely, I guess. We're all remote, but thank you for joining too. All right, so the next person I have is Shakil. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Shakil. I am a ServiceNow developer at Telstra. And today my drink is like Ruh Afza. It's like a summer special drink in Hyderabad. And yeah.
Nice, thanks. And I have a question for you. How do you approach, what is your approach to continuous improvement while learning in your career?
Yeah, like constantly learning and staying up to date with the new releases, and like actively participating in meetups and workshops, so that like we will meet new people and learn from peers. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So next, I wanted to, so this is probably the most prepared I've ever been on a live coding happy hour, as much as I talk about chaos. I had all of our MVPs pick a question and then give the answer. For transparency, they picked a question and they gave me their response on it. The last person I want to bring on screen is Chris, who didn't read the prompt and didn't answer the question. So I don't have a question prepared for you. So Chris, go ahead and introduce yourself while I figure out what to ask you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Chris Helming. My pronouns are they, them. I'm a developer at University of Maryland. I was MVP last year, again this year. I won the hackathon last year with Astrid and Jezelyn and Ebony and Sarah Tolson, but I guess it wasn't important enough for Astrid and Jezelyn to mention. So
we're gonna end with chaos on this episode, I'm sure. But you know what? I don't have a question. Why don't you just ad lib some advice to all the people watching?
Yeah, so joining Slack was probably the biggest thing for me. I would read questions that people had, and I would try and see the answer before going into a thread and see, what somebody else gave as the answer. But But yeah, being part of the Slack community has been huge. It's a lot of fun, a lot of memes, a lot of trolling, but it's a really good time, and a lot of people that are, there to help each other out, help each other learn.
Nice. Thank you, Chris. Let me just fill the screen with faces as much as I can now. Okay, so this is only 10 of the, I think, 17 people that we were trying to showcase today. But we are all over the place. I'm sure if you're on LinkedIn, you probably saw one of our posts every day or every time you log on. So there's that. But again, I want to say thank you to everybody on the screen, everybody that's watching at home. The chat has been extra lively today, hundreds of chats. So make sure to, if you are tuning into this after the fact, go watch the actual chat replay, because a lot of fun stuff has been going on. Usually I try to display the chats on the bottom while we're doing this stream, but clicking buttons. But Lauren, any parting words? I think we're good. I think we can end early on this one because we were able to get everybody in.
Yeah, I think this was fantastic. Again, thank y'all.
Beer ratings. Gotta rate our drinks.
Yeah.
Everyone shout your rating at the same time.
5.
I love these.
4.5.
5.
I spilled some.
No.
Party foul.
And StreamYard just goes down.
There's a fire behind me. No. Okay, so thank you again. If you are interested in learning more about the MVP program, go to community.servicenow.com and you'll find information. I really spilled all over me myself. Sorry. You can find stuff about the MVP program there. All of us are on LinkedIn if you want to look for any of us to message or ask questions about what you might have heard today or learned about. And if you want to gain friendships that will last years, the community is a great place to start. And a lot of us that you see on our screen, a lot of the people that you saw on the screen earlier are ready to make that connection with you. So reach out to us. We would love to connect with you. And any other parting words from any of our peanut gallery?
I love Earl.
Okay, I'm gonna end
Hashtag I love Earl.
No, okay.
I love Earl.
I gotta find the button. No, I can't find the button. Hold on. Wrong button. Hold on.